dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, everybody, it's me, your host, True Power's Mind, and this is TPIM SR Live. Today's date, May 9th, 2019, the year of our Lord. Today's topic, the irrefutable truth. Truth about the world, perhaps even truths about yourself. Brother Air, welcome to the show. 144002300 days. Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome back, y'all. Y'all ready to do this thing today? I got the energy right. I feel it. You know, to all the new listeners out there, I just want to say thank you real quick. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for sharing the videos with others who aren't aware of TPIM SR Live. But we're growing. We are getting stronger. Sounds like one of those old commercials. Getting stronger. I want to start off today by thanking the Most High for allowing us yet another time to come together and try to get this thing right, y'all. The right way, Brother Air. Not with hatred and bullshit, pompery, but truth and tactics and figuring out a logistical way of pulling this thing off. Our spirituality is our ammunition. You forsake that, you give that up, you decide not to use it. You're condemning yourself. I got a couple of shows we're going to jump between today. Yes, that brother. This brother is a brilliant mind. Very sincere in the way he speaks. Check out this guy when you get a chance. He was on last night. He's really good. From Anaheim. You should call and to the show sometime. Post a link. 144. Post a link. Let's start off the show.
They left Christianity, and guess what? They carry Christianity on in their Rastafarian religion, because they start up a religion also. You see what I'm saying? The true Rastafarian, they are not Bible people. They are principle people. They live by the principles of nature, because they realize nature is their teacher. Why do they need the Bible? When the way that they put this book together, it is to control you, to trick you and control you, to help to take away your spirituality. Because if you don't live in a place of spirituality, living in your higher self, you cannot unravel this mystery that is sitting in front of you in a book called Bible.
Bam. So see how, listen, I'm trying to bring this all together so people who are coming up and watching this, and by the way, some of the shows are on Patreon. The last show, just $1, or all the way up to $10,000. You can watch any of those videos. But the reason why I'm bringing this out like this, because the other day when we had on the Edomites and they were going back and forth over the Bible, when he's talking about freeze your mind to all of that. You got to understand, certain things were put together to put you in a state of perpetual ignorance, a state of never learning, never maturing. If you live by principles, Brother Air, you invite me over to your house for dinner. Come on, Brother True, come on over here and eat. I go to your house with certain principles in my heart. Principles mean I won't disrespect you. I won't disrespect your people. I won't disrespect your food. I'll be cordial and nice, instead of going over there with some sort of deluded mind, full of polluted thoughts, down in down in your people, down in your food, down in your house. See, that's why certain guests you don't want to come through. You see, because they don't have the right principle. They don't have the intuitive understanding. It's not right for me to try to harm my brother. It's not right for me to try to get over on my brother or anyone else for that matter. You start living by these principles. You start calibrating your mind right, and we won't end up with foolishness like this.
Such an effective way to get people to pay attention to things, because as you said, people focus on failure and negative and anger.
That's what we want to see.
Controversy.
That's what we want to see. People want to see the anger.
Yeah.
And you know,
why do you think that is?
Because it's just the times. It's that's what's cool now.
Is that what it is?
What's cool is being negative. You know how you always have some people.
Yeah, it was never negative, Mr. Hart. When people were being raped, thrown into slavery, it wasn't negative, sir. When people use entertainment to justify their social imprisonment and to make it seem it's all good, yeah. Look, Brother Air, it's all good. I can crack jokes. Of course, you still can't get a fucking loan, but I can crack jokes. It's all good. Let's continue.
This is a great example how you have people. Me and you can talk about a movie, right?
But they ain't gonna talk about reparation. They ain't gonna talk about the fucking real social issues that throws people into state of, oh my God, these people don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's just fucking throw their asses in ovens. They'll never talk about that shit. But ready for some clownery and ready for some, hey, it's okay, Brother Air. It's okay, brother 144000230 days. And Shula, or Shilu. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Welcome to the show, brother. Now, I hope that we see the method to the madness in this. Let's continue.
We can talk about Titanic. Wow, man, Titanic, one of the biggest movies of all time. Fucking great movie. Yo, yes, it was a great movie. And one guy, for no reason, go, I fucking hated it. Why? You ain't like Titanic? Fucking bullshit. Why? Man, I know why. Now tell me, why'd you hate it? I ain't got time to talk to you about that. The cool thing is just being different. I wanna be completely opposite than all these
contrarian
positive people. You know what? No. That shit was ass. What? Why? Why was it ass? You have people that just like to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what happens when one person does it, another person for no reason all go, yeah, me too.
Because unfortunately, most people are lemons. Most people lack the vital critical thinking skills needed to navigate this cruel and chaotic mudball we find ourselves occupying. But once again, you lose your spirituality, you're going to fall into this trap that these two are weaving. Let's go back to the real.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to know yourself. Get to know your true self. Look deep within. Anytime you stop looking on the outside for the answers, my dear brothers and sisters, then you will come alive. You will start to know and you will start to see everything from an elevated place. You're living in a third dimensional world where basically everything is about the material, not spiritual. You must indeed go to your higher self to dispel all these material things that has been placed upon you as a spell. You're under a spell.
The four magic words: Tamu Jama, Ashman Tuk, Salam Alalam, Izil Salak.
That's why everyone tried to keep you down. And that's why I said, when it comes to us as black people, our African people, notice that everyone is trying to keep you down. Everyone is against you because they know that you are the true spiritual people. And if you come back into your spiritual place, then that's it for them.
Bam. Bam. Double bam bam. Now let's go to this foolishness.
Yeah, that shit was ass, man. I ain't like it either. Did you see it? What y'all talking about? You don't even know what they're talking about. But you just want to hop on the negative train.
Right.
Because that's what's cool. It's not cool to be positive. It's not cool to be happy.
I don't know if it's a cool thing. I think it's usually people that are really...
Once again, the words of Neely Fuller Jr. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. We are prisoners of war, y'all. So if you're really a logical human being, Air, you don't really realize you're a prisoner of war, but you know something's off. Wouldn't you be negative off the jump street? How could you be happy in a jail, Air? How could you be happy in oppression? How could you be happy in a system that has you in the crosshairs? I can tell you how. Entertainers. Huh? That's why they get billions of dollars a year.
frustrated with their lives.
100%. That's the factual side to it.
I did a joke before. It was like, do you think Michael Jordan leaves YouTube comments? Like, I bet.
I'm not saying to be. This is not for. Okay. I'm using you, Brother Eric, in this, but I already know that you're beyond this. This is for, let's say, the uninitiated. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Brother Air, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably found happiness when you found your spirituality, your personal, internal spirituality. If I'm wrong, then I apologize, but I believe that I'm right on that.
He doesn't.
No. No.
That's not for winners.
No. Not at all.
The type of people that want to get mad and complain constantly about shit like that.
Do you know what it takes to do this right here?
Not much.
Do you know right here?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how I feel right in your comment section, Joe Rogan. You can kiss my... You know what that takes? What do you have going on that you have the time to just simply be that negative and do it in this world and universe?
It's just a mismanagement of your time. Yeah.
Time.
And that's what I've been talking about, y'all. Now, I agree with them. A lot of us are mismanaging our time. We fall prey to these dogmatic doctrines that will take you farther away from your internal spirituality. We follow these systems, thinking that somehow if we mimic someone else's actions and behavior, we're going to somehow get the same results. But that negates the spirituality in you. That's how you can be a prisoner of war and still, oh Lord, by the river, I feel joy. Ooh, ooh. That's why. Until we link these two dots, it's very hard to progress and carry on with the true mission, carry on with the true purpose. Now, I will never berate or belittle anyone from their lack of knowledge, because you simply don't know. But once you have been told, once the information's been out here, once others and walking by has whispered things in your ears, and you still insist on carrying on with the system's plan, at this point in time, then enough is said. Let's go back to the real now.
That is it. I will have people come to me all the time and say, hey, Brother Keston, but what about so-and-so? Brother Kwaku, how about so-and-so? How about this? How about that? I say to them, listen, I don't want you to come to me and say to me about, oh, you know, there's good white people, there's good Indian people, there's good Chinese people. I say to them again, as a collective, tell me which one of them is not trying to keep you down as a whole. And even when it comes to individual, they are your friends for what they can get out of you. It's not because they love you. Don't tell me about they are my brothers, because they are not. This is what I'm saying is, I know what they are and I know their purpose. I know the purpose that they are serving. We need to recognize what these people are truly all about and stop making justification for them.
It's so valuable.
And I don't think people understand how valuable they can be if they use their time correctly.
Yes. Now, have you always been like this? Have you always been this ambitious? Always?
Fucking guy, man.
But always?
Always.
Really?
I find a light in every dark tunnel.
He can be enjoyed at the bottom of a porta potty.
I will find a goddamn light, man. I hear it all. Listen, when I tell you the weight on my back is so heavy of all the stuff that I deal with, and I'm fine. The reason why I'm fine is because I'm genuinely happy. I'm happy. And I'm not happy just because of the success.
I'm going to, you know, this is the bullshit part. He's exactly happy because of the success. If he did not have the success, he would be stressed.
Success acts as a bonus. I'm happy because I truly know the definition and the feeling that comes with happiness. I truly know it. I felt it. I felt it when I said, yo, what really makes me happy? And I look at Heaven and Hendrix and I look at Zoe. I look at my wife. I go, yo, I didn't have the family shit when I was coming up. Yeah, I got one. I got one. Look what I done did. Look what I built. These people depend on me. I provide for these people. That makes me happy. That makes me.
So like I said, if he did not have the success, the economic success, he would not be able to provide for them, and therefore he would not be happy. Let's go back to the other.
They are not here to help you. You must help yourself by looking within for the answers in order to free yourself, in order to get rid of this system that has been imposed upon you to destroy you as a spiritual being, living in the flesh. You see what I'm saying?
Happy when my daughter comes up. Dad, you're not only my dad, you're my best friend. Yo, I'm happy. That's my world. So everything else from the outside that comes in, you're throwing shit at a bubble that can't be popped. It's a force field around me.
Yeah.
There's a force field around me because what really matters, loves me wholeheartedly. And when you have that and you understand that, you're unbreakable. So if you don't add to that force field, if you don't make my force field stronger, you don't get time from me. My team, Heartbeat Productions, the people underneath my umbrella, you're a part of my force field. You believe what I believe. We all see the same things. We want the same things. So we march with the same beat.
Depressive is also known as craniofacial duplication, is an extremely rare congenital disorder. Cats with the condition are known as Janus cats, after the Roman god. In July 2006,
you can't shake that when you're an individual that's seen that and understands that. If you've never felt that, if you have no idea what that feels like, then it's easy to shake you. That's why some people are easily broken.
Because some people are actually broke.
broken is not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing. So those that do get broken, those that do get down, those that do get depressed, I understand. I don't knock people for it. I don't knock anybody for it. What I also understand is that the encouragement that can come from so many can add value for those that may need a little push.
We have to come to our true self, brothers and sisters. We must, in order to remove this condition that has been imposed upon us as a people. But because of fear is one of the main factors why we are not doing what we need to do. You see, and I said, and every time I say this, I said, my brothers and sisters, hear me out and hear me out carefully and think, reason. We don't make guns. Why are we using it on each other?
It's called eugenics. It's called Operation Garden Plot. It's called people hate you and they want to see you suffer. They want to see you lost and they want to see you dead.
May need a little, hey man, pick your chin up. It's so easy to be that positive reinforcement for somebody and add value. It's so easy. But some people choose to throw that aside and kick while you're down. I try to put out the light of positivity because whoever's out there, I don't know what it could do for somebody else. But somebody else may just simply look at me and say, yo, the way that he embraces his kids makes me want to be a better father. Yo, the way that this man doesn't stop and the way that every day he wakes up and he's just positive regardless of what's going on makes me realize that this shit ain't so bad. The way that...
There it is. Like I said, the only purpose he serves and all other entertainers is to get you in the mindset, this shit ain't so bad. So you don't think, hey, this shit's fucked up. Let's change it, y'all. This shit is fucking whack. Let's change it. Nope. It ain't so bad, Brother Air. It ain't so bad, 144000 2300 days. It ain't so bad, other chatters. Don't worry. I'm not going to go out like that, Brother Air. It's not necessarily about fear. Only a fool goes into a situation unknowing the repercussions of that situation. I'm not trying to scare y'all. I'm not trying to, I'm just informing you. As a matter of fact, if we continue down this path, Brother Air, if we go down the road that we're on, 144000 days, we're going to an easy bake oven. Quite literally. Quite literally.
If something is not truly wrong with this situation that we face, is a spell has been imposed upon you. You are trapped and not realizing that you have been trapped.
Yes.
The only way you can realize this is to become awake. Wake and aware. Start to see. Start to see out of your real eye. And then you will be set free from all the misery that has been brought upon you.
4 magic words. Tamu Jama, Ashman Tuk, Salam Alalam, Izil Salak.
He gets up and says, hey, today's another day. It's a morning. Let's all be better than we were yesterday. Somebody probably needed to hear that. The more that I can give that out and I can take my platform to throw good energy out, I'm doing my part.
to ensure that we never wake up and never fight back.
Because there's so many that throw out the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a part of that.
That's beautiful, man.
That's true.
I believe you.
It's not forced.
Right.
It's not phony.
Yeah.
It's not fake. I hear shit every day. I hear shit every day.
It's very contagious too.
I had a lady, right?
Of course, he's gonna be. It's very contagious. He's enjoying all the benefits of the society, and this man sitting here who, by all intents and purposes, until his successful fame kicked in, wasn't enjoying the benefits and privileges in its totality, and he's still not sincerely enjoying them all, but he's enjoying enough of them that he can wake up happy every day because he can provide economically for his beautiful family. And that in itself is awesome. That's cool. But everybody should have that privilege, not just the immaculate 10%.
Because with this gun, you will kill each other, but the person who create this gun to cause you to destroy each other, you will not put it on him. You will not. Because he's your deceiver, he's also become your God. That is the reality. Whether you want to accept it or reject it, it is the truth, and truth is truth. We must come into that place and recognize truth in order to be free. In order to be free.
Lady rolled down the window. She goes, "When you gonna make a good movie again?" I said, "Did you see the upside? I thought the upside was good. What's that?"
Oh shit!
It's a movie. It's one of my movies that's out. I think it's a good movie. I ain't see that. All right, ma'am. You have a beautiful day.
That's hilarious.
All right.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Damn.
What she saying? She asked the question with such conviction, like literally.
Yeah.
And by the way, I could have said a lot of shit. Like she rolled her window down. You could tell she still had the crank. So I'm like, I could have said a lot of shit. I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. There's a lot of things that I could say to you, ma'am. When you gonna make a good movie? Head snapping. I got one out. The upside. You see the upside? What's that? It's a movie. It's out now.
Amazing that that's how she chooses to come at you.
I see it. I get it.
She chooses to come at you with a negative.
I get it every day. When you gonna be funny again? I'm trying my best. Trying my best. If it's not working for you, hopefully I do better soon. What am I going to feed into that energy? Why?
Right.
Why? For what?
Yeah.
For what? It seems to have been working thus far.
Are you getting this pot?
You see, hey, brother Nick, welcome to the show. I just got a copyright deal. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me show you. That yellow bar that just popped up on the live feed. Let me know that here it is. Heads up. We got a copyright, blah, blah, blah. So if I disappear rapidly, you guys know what's up, man. The show's basically under attack because I'm not CNN. I'm not MSNBC. I'm not Fox News. Not Russian TV. Brother Aaron, what's up? Welcome to the show. But I am a concerned guy. Spirit is filled with questions, filled with love and light and peace for everybody, and filled with spirituality, and knowing for a fact that the Most High does exist. Now, My words could be going out there, could not. But I sincerely hope that it's reaching the right person today. If you're on the fence, you don't know which way to go, please, I ask you, look inside yourself. It's there. It truly is. We have gotten to a point now, folks, that the reality of this thing, meaning the plan of what a lot of people called the New World Order, the Illuminati. It just happens to damn near be the same plan that most racist conservatives have, meaning the third temple will be built. The third temple will be built. The so-called prophecy will be fulfilled, and peace will envelop the earth. But it's nothing further from the truth. Until we get these injustices mended, reconciled, we're not going to have any unity. We're not going to have any true peace. Because if we all recall one of the laws of power, never win an argument by words alone. See, we can sit up here and talk all this smack we want, but we have better realize we are in a collective argument. And none of our leaders' words, none of our entertainers' words, none of our elders' words are going to matter. The only thing that will matter at the end is the action, Brother Aaron. The action, Brother Nick. The action, Brother Air. Now, are we going to continue to talk? Or are we going to try to come up with a plan of action? I mean, we all should have our individual plans. This is what I intend to do. This is how I'm going to make it. But how come it's not even in our thoughts, brothers and sisters, for a collective or group plan that's actually implemented? Not piecemeal, wholeheartedly. One guy opens a school, another guy opens a nursing home, another guy opens a daycare. But neither one of these three gentlemen are using their resources together in a collective kind of way. And I'm not talking about social. No one's talking about, oh man, the daycare guy has to give money to the school guy, and the school guy has to give money to. No. Let's get money out the equation so we have at least a hope in the shot of dark of doing this thing. We do it because we understand consciously. If we don't do it, these little piecemeal gains we have will be one, maybe two generations deep before it's removed. What is this? Okay, thank you. Did I get it? Thank you. Yes, love. Okay. I'm doing a show, so just hang out and play for 1 second. And good morning to you. I said good morning. I'm glad to see you awake. No. You gonna give me a hug? Oh, you're so sweet. Love you. Now, boys and girls, let's listen to the elder. I gotta be careful with Joe Rogan's stuff because I don't want to get kicked off. I mean, if I want to get kicked off, I just could do whatever. But I sincerely want to share this information with others who might not be able to find it.
From this bondage, this prison that you find yourself in. You are thinking that, oh, I'm living a good life. Oh, I got a job, I got a car, I got a house, I got all these things. But are you truly free from this imprisonment? Don't they can take everything from you at any given point? If
I wish Mr. Hart would have heard that last sentence. Don't you know they could take anything from you at any given point? At any point in time. Please be mindful of your station in life. Please do not be boastful or arrogant. Because these draws attentions to yourself, to your person, that one individual can't fight off. You'll be like a grasshopper surrounded by army ants. They will cut you up into small chunks.
that was not the case, you didn't have to go and pay taxes for your house even when you finished paying for it. Why would you have to do that? Forget to pay your taxes for a couple of years and see what happens. The sheriff will come when somebody bite on the step of the courthouse and move you out. You see, that the next slave can take over. So, as I said again, we are unaware of the trap that we have been caught in, just like that bird. Because you think that I have all these seeds and I don't have to fly to another tree looking for food today.
And there's the bird right here.
Don't exist, Joe. We're in a time right now where people expect perfection.
God, you know what? I'm just gonna leave Joe Rogan alone. That interview, I want to tie it in with this, but I'm just gonna have to find a different interview to tie it in, and I will. I can. It'll be quite simple. One that's a little more laxed on the whole copyright issue. So let me look at my history once again, because I don't watch any bunk crap. I can pretty much do what I like.
Insurance.com. Can you hear that?
My God.
Nothing can truly survive.
How many damn commercials are there?
Challenge many creation is offering to prove that is how we know what we know. He doesn't want to know that we know anything that he doesn't want to believe, and he doesn't want to know it himself because, of course, he doesn't want to believe it.
Now, he's talking about religion beliefs, but listen to this. Remember what Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. said the other day about the white supremacist knows more than us. Listen to what he said and think about the person he's talking to. It's the melanated individual who believes that they're going to trick somebody or fake somebody until they make it.
An amphibian over millions of years. Don't show me a line of fossils. Don't explain.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Someone posted to my Facebook, forget about you and your interpretation of the data. Just show me the transformation.
Okay, never mind. Forget that whole spill there because I can't get it to the right spot, apparently. But just listen to him. What he's talking about is, oh my gosh, atheists rebuting creationists. Oh my God, talking about the fossil records and a change of time, meaning you can't show me in the fossil records where a deer transformed into a chicken, or a chicken transformed into a frog, or a fish merely transforms into whatever. And he's trying to rebuke that. But the only reason why I'm bringing him on is so that you understand that it is spirituality, not intellectual capacity, that is your weapon.
So I can observe it for myself. Can you show me a fish turning into an amphibian over millions of years? Don't show me a line of fossils. Don't explain anything about genetics at all. I want to observe exactly how fish turn into amphibians, unquote.
So, Sister CJ, welcome to the show. I'm glad you could make it. Most High woke you up and got you in here today. Good to see you.
That's serious. That's serious. We have to become awake to be aware. And when we do these things, we have to help others to see it. And I'm saying, don't try to help people who are caught up into the system. Don't try to help people who are not coming into any awareness, are not questioning anything. The people who you must try to help is those that are asking question. What is going on? Hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought of... Listen, think. Listen to people. Listen to those that are around you. Listen to what they're saying.
Yes. And on that note, let's go back to the library. Not on him. Because this guy, he's not appropriate for this discussion. Hold on. Oh, damn it. There, I could have went right here. Hold on 1 second, gal. I'm just trying to, there you are. We're going to do an eye in the sky report, y'all. All right. I started watching that one, but I think I might. If you don't mind, Brother Nick, I want to kind of use a couple of your reports. I watched quite a few. Actually, I'm going to start backwards. I'm going to do this latest one and then go to the one he did yesterday. This is from Brother Nick, yeah. Eye in the Sky report.
Hey, my star family, I love you. Why is bubonic plague still a thing? By Susan Scooty, CNN. CNN, a local folk remedy thought to provide a good health, had the opposite effect for one Mongolian couple. After eating the raw kidney of marmot, the pair died of bubonic plague, according to AFP news agency reported on Monday. Health authorities responded by declaring a quarantine that included locals and foreign tourists who had come into contact with these people. So in just this first paragraph, wow, more and more fatalities just off what we know. These couples that they keep mentioning, they won't mention the names of these two individuals, but I'll continue to read. Plague, one of the deadliest bacterial infections in human history, caused an estimated 50 million deaths in Europe. 50 million, my people, off of this bacteria. During the Middle Ages, symptoms which usually appear within 1 to 7 days. So symptoms are right here, guys. Symptoms which usually appear with 1 to 7 days after infection include.
Hold on. That just made me think of something. I got something, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me listen to Brother Nick, and I'm going to get this thing pulled up. Hold on.
Painful swollen lymph nodes called buboes, as well as fever, chills, and coughing. So after the quarantine was announced, not many people, even locals, were in the streets for fear of catching a disease. Well, yeah, because honestly, I mean, who would take anyone serious if they heard that, hey, the bubonic plague has come back? No one will believe that shit. Okay, but streets for fear of catching a disease. Sebastian Peak, as U.S. Peace Corps volunteer living in the region, told AFP, The plague has made a recent comeback, having caused close to 50,000 human cases. How come we haven't been hearing about this over in America? We're just now recently hearing about this within like the last 2 to 3 weeks. It is now categorized by World Health Organization as a re-emerging disease. Worse, the bacterium causing plague, if converted into an aerosolized form, is considered one of the most likely bio threats and is classified as such by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. So I want to read that part again, and I'm going to, with emphasis. It is considered one of the most likely bio threats if converted into an aerosolized form. So aerosolized form means chemtrail, that mist that I tell you guys about, the same mist that particulate, metal particulates that form as barium and aluminum ball, quotation marks. But this very mist, this aerosolized form, the airsoft form I keep mentioning, yes, this is probably how I feel like is the cause of this brand new strain and form of bubonic plague. But how do you get the plague? I'm going to read it anyway. Plague affects humans and other mammals. The CDC reports other mammals. Usually people get plague after being bitten by a rodent, flea carrying Yersinia pestis, the bacterium that causes the disease, or by handling an infect.
All right, guys. Hold on. I got it here. All right. I don't even know if I really should do this, but I am. Fuck it. Because you guys need to hear this. I had a conversation last night, okay? Very interesting one. One that I really believe we all need to hear. Because you're going to understand, man, that things are you understand, they don't really have no plan for us. Check this out.
Hand that shit down. No, hand that to just talk. All you gotta do is talk.
Yeah, with the Fox vehicle, the 6-wheel amphibious vehicle had its own containment air system. So, like, we were completely secure on the inside, and we could take air samples, ground samples, and analyze it there. And see how the saturation of whatever the chemical or biological attack was, or the radiation level, stuff like that.
What would happen if you did detect a abnormal radiation or some sort of chemical level? What would be the procedure to quarantine that area?
From that point on, they would have to do a cordon around the entire area. Sometimes it's up to a half mile, quarter mile, depending on what it was. Say, like if there's a nuclear attack,
right?
It hit somewhere around the St. Louis area. Most of the time, the weather patterns based on certain times of the year either go from northwest to southeast, or they could go from southwest to northeast. So from there, you're talking about one nuclear attack in St. Louis on an airburst.
Right.
On a good air system, you're talking about evacuating a quarter of the United States. On the Alberta Clipper is one of the major wind systems that come through. It sweeps through the United States.
Right.
Say Seattle. Seattle were to get hit on a certain time of the year, that would literally affect the entire northern border of the United States all the way to New York.
With radiation.
So yeah.
We're finding higher radiation levels just from Fukushima.
So yeah, it would literally cover the entire part of the top part of the United States. And unfortunately,
air conditioning.
Unfortunately, ash cloud radiation, you're talking about, infertile lands for anywhere from 15, 25 years, where you can't grow crops. So say somewhere, Denver, Colorado gets hit. You're talking about the entire Midwest, all the farmlands, plant 25 years, where we will not be able to use them crops.
We don't find that true with Nagasaki or Hiroshima. They were able to grow crops within 3 years of that.
We still have low levels of radiation. But think about it though. All right, so the initial burst, when it hits, it does send out radioactive particles everywhere around it.
Correct.
But the real damage and the hazard is the saturated materials from the ash clouds and stuff like that, and the
That has the heavy particles.
falls, yeah, and that falls. So there's obviously three different types of radiation. There's alpha, beta, and gamma particles, right? Alpha particles can be stopped easily with a piece of paper or something like that. So you're talking about like direct ash contact, from or rain. You could stop that with clothing. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Beta particles where it'll go up to a certain amounts of lead or concrete. Where it'll still travel up to a certain point, and the gamma particles, which from the base of the explosion, which are the most deadly, which causes the death and the cancers and stuff.
And the vaporization.
So the thing with the Hulk, and all that stuff, the gamma particles, that's the most powerful form of the radiation of the radioactive material. That's why he transformed. But anyway, back to our job was to plan different ways that the United States could be attacked. Right. And ways to deter that at the same time. All the contingency
Any plan
plans.
is there to help the citizenry.
Right. So hundreds of different plans on ways that we could be attacked, and then at the same time, the contingency plans to prevent that, and then at the same time to preventative measures to keep that from happening, and then in the event that something does happen, we already know what to do. There's already plans installed.
So what is the plan for us citizens? Just die? Because we know the politicians got to be in bunkers. What about the citizens? What do we do?
Well, a lot of times in events like that, the government is going to be more or less honest with who to evacuate. Sometimes you'll be closer to the border of where they would say just sit tight. In the event of radioactive material, don't just sit tight, man. If they say sit tight, don't sit tight. If you're going to be in a contaminated area, it's somewhere else, man. It's not like, I'm not kidding. Like, okay, so all right, so the unit that I was in, one of their contingency plans is actually to fall back to in a U.S. held area in Canada, because from a forward operating base outside of any kind of contaminated area, say somebody attacks the United States directly.
Right.
Canada or Mexico may have a little of the blowback from that, but not in a direct attack on them per se. Nobody really wants to, attack the Canadians. They're so nice, they don't hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in the event, that's where they fall back to, and then from there, you can do everything from a nice secure area. Fortunately for them, they have room enough for up to 144 extra civilians outside of the family members and stuff. So it'll be like a first come, first served basis. 144 extra, but that's just that one team. Within that, I'm pretty sure there's like 3 other teams within the surrounding area, and then the one I was in was one of the very first established.
Right.
And they had waited until 2007 to establish something like that. A response team. That wasn't, because at the time what they were using was just the reconnaissance and decon teams from individual forts. So like Fort Sam in Houston, Texas was their response team that would go out. But now they actually have a chemical response team that will react within 3 hours of any kind of attack within their designated region. Yeah. There's another one somewhere in New York. There's one over on the East Coast, on the West Coast.
This is.
I don't think I could specify the exact location on that one, but
that's not giving me much help as a common citizen out here at all. I mean,
you know anybody out of state? Do you know anybody out of country?
Yes. I do. Now I do. I'm just saying
have a backup plan. Have a backup plan to move out of the country. And unfortunately, in the event of an attack like that, you're only going to be able to get on a plane within the next 2 hours. After that, most airports are going to shut down, and they're not going to let anybody in or out.
Yeah, everybody's going to be wigging out.
Yeah.
You're talking about displacement of almost like 270 million people. And you say there's 144 beds.
No. Where are you talking about? Just an attack in St. Louis?
No, I'm talking about attack in Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
All that drift.
More than that, man. More than that. Well, and I mean, it'll be habitable. It'll be livable. There'll be low, the human body can accept, low levels of radiation. We do on a daily basis. The sun is a huge
And background radiation right now.
So the thing is that the government is going to have to act quickly and get rid of the topsoil and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. The fertile ground, the topsoil, the first 6 feet will be unusable.
Electrical grid too?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, Seattle for sure. I mean, they'll obviously have to, the explosive force. It is not so much like the bomb itself, but that. The resonance of the explosion is the killer. That's what does it. The first atomic bomb that went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
The Navy actually had all of their crewmen up on board watching it. All right. And when they watched it with their eyes closed and their hands over their eyes. They'll talk to you. I've spoken to some of them directly. They'll tell you their experience was like seeing an X-ray. They could see their bones of their fingers through their eyelids when the explosion went off.
I'm sure they
90% of them are dead from cancer and exposure from it.
And then 90% of the people that were on the South Pacific Islands, where bikini.
Man, they can say that all they want. There's a place in Utah where they've done so many different other explosions and atomic explosions without the radioactive core, just for the detonation to see the impact and the yield. You ought to see this place in Utah, man. There's hundreds of craters.
They just blew up.
Some of them up to almost a quarter mile in distance, brother.
One crater, one explosion.
Yeah, the Moab, the thing that they finally dropped on that place out there in
Syria?
It was either
Afghanistan.
Yeah. The first time they had tested it, the plane almost didn't get out of the blast radius. They had to drop. Yeah, they had to drop it from a higher altitude and actually apply parachutes to it the first time.
Wow.
To make sure. So, and that, they had reports of that 50 miles away. People were reporting that they had heard it, and and that their place shook. It's the first place they tested it was someplace out in Florida. They have a testing site out there.
And they blew it up down. I understand we have to test these devices. We have to test this stuff. But I still believe that every town, whether it's a little bitty village of 20 people or it's a big ass city with hundreds of thousands, that we need bomb shelters for the citizens.
Well, not even bomb shelters. Think about Chernobyl. The meltdown. That shit can happen at any time. When I was growing up in high school, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a nuclear lab technician. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be that guy that in the event that the meltdown happens, I'm Bryan Cranston from, the Godzilla movie, trying to stop the meltdown, that would be the shit, that would be, I would say probably one of the most exhilarating, adrenaline rushing moments that somebody could experience in life, but obviously I joined the Army, I had other goals in mind and had kids and things change,
It does change. But don't you, are you not preparing for the imminent World War III coming?
Listen, you can ask her, we got a bug out bag. I got a first aid kit sitting at the house full of all random stuff. I got a tote that I'm just putting random shit into, shoestrings,
Yes.
So we have an air mattress, a tent, heaters, little portable air conditioners, all kinds of stuff that we're bringing with us. Walmart in Deloge has rechargeable battery packs for $4. Comes with a charger and 4 rechargeable batteries, $4. I get paid Monday, dude. I'm gonna go buy a crap ton of them. I'm not even messing with you.
No, back in the day we talked about. You explained how a guy or gal can make a filter of sorts. Can you re-explain that?
Oh yeah. Okay, so you just take the home masks, that you would wear for sicknesses or dust masks or something.
Right.
And easily just take charcoal. They got the. Is that still going? I don't know.
Yes, it's still going.
You can take the charcoal rubs or even the charcoal toothpaste that would even work to a certain point a lot of times. But you put those in between a couple layers of mask and you wear that over, and that's a filter. And a filter, I would say, I've been out for about 10 years, so but the advances of it, but that would filter out almost 75% of the known chemical agents that would affect you by inhalation.
Wow. 75% is better than nothing.
Yeah, 75% of the most commonly used ones, So and a lot of the other ones, the reason why it wouldn't affect them is because they're a little bit harder to make. at the same time, so they're a little more effective. So at the same time, they're in less abundance.
Gotcha.
So something like that. So I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Rock. With Sean Connery and
oh my God, that's an old movie, I think.
where they break back into Alcatraz because the army unit stole some chemical weapons and the ZX gas. The dude was almost pretty accurate. Like, not even kidding you. Like, one drop of that, on a nice, calm, windy day, it could take out an entire city block of people with a nerve agent.
But how come no one's ever used it?
It's extremely rare and hard to get its hands on. You have some people trying to make it, where other countries that have it are very secure about it. Like, I'm not even kidding you, like with the United States, that whole portrayal of an army unit going in there and trying to get into it, not going to happen. I went to the chemical.
Hey, wow. Welcome to the show. Now, listen, y'all, I want you guys to pay very close attention to what he's about ready to say next. The confidential informant. He's going to describe an actually training exercise that he personally participated in. If his gear would have failed, it would have been deadly.
Training school in Fort Leonard Wood, and where they just had very small amounts on it to use in a training environment. All right. And that place was locked up like Fort Knox. And I've been to Fort Knox too, dude. I'm not kidding you. Like, I've been there too. But the amount of MP personnel and just security personnel at that place, and the amount that they have, they don't keep a whole lot on stock. That's the point. In our training unit, they only put out one eye drop worth of it in our training.
And what were the victims in that? I mean, how did you see that it was working?
Our chemical equipment, our training equipment, the M88 military equipment would detect it. There's only a rare small amount of things that could give it a false reading, but the false reading still would be on a very low end scale.
How far away from that drop was you reading?
So we were in a room. I'd say the room was probably about 12 feet across. And they had done it right in the middle of the room, and there was, I think, about like 8 to 10 of us at the time in our full chemical equipment and gas masks and stuff in the room with it.
So if any part of your mop gear fell,
was not on it appropriately, yes,
you would have died.
Absolutely. Well, no, because we were at every single one of us, because we were in the military. You have a nerve agent antidote kit on you at all the time, a NAC kit, NAAK. And what happens is in that it has the nerve agent equalizer and adrenaline to get a pulsing through your body to effectively neutralize it. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, what happens is in the event of something like that, you unless you know that it's happening,
right,
you won't be able to do it yourself.
Oh, your body.
Yeah, they call it the floppy chicken when you're exposed to something like that. If you can imagine a flopping chicken. That's what your body will do with CX gas. So they affect your nervous system.
So you just lose all motor skills and kind of defecate yourself. And
pretty much, yeah.
Oh my God!
It's not a nice way to go.
Pay attention. Start to pay attention again. And that's why I said, what we must do, we need to start remembering phone numbers. We need to go back to the way before. And people might say, oh, but you're going backwards. You're going to the Stone Age. Go back to the Stone Age because it's good for you. What they're imposing upon you is your destruction without you being aware of it. So I'm saying, go back to that place where you start to remember phone numbers. Write them down and practice them every day. Remember 2-3 numbers a day. Just repeat them. Just go through them and repeat them. Repeat them. The
4 magic words. Tamu Jama, Asman Tuk, Salam Alalam, Izil Salak.
And just write them down in a book.
The 4 magic words. Tamu Jama, Asman Tuk, Salam Alalam, Izil Salak.
Okay? But repeat them every time you need a number. And guess what? Automatically it's going to come back. because it's there. It's just that that ability became very dull. That ability became very dull because the people the controllers are the deceiver is trapping you and controlling you. So now that you are coming out of this deception, you must do the things to keep elevating yourself.
The four magic words: Tamu Jama, Asman Tak, Salam Alalam, Izil Salak.
To keep learning, to keep putting these things into practice, that you need to recall them. Remember this, brothers and sisters, just a typical thing. Let's say you are in an accident. Your phone is destroyed. Who are you going to tell them to call if you can't remember any number?
And on that note, y'all, I got to take off. I have some more drywalling to do today, mudding and taping. Yay! Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Hopefully you found today's broadcast insightful. Hopefully we opened up some mental doors to you that would be filled with new thought and possibly new physical experiences. But the one thing I hope you really, really get, you have a great day, Sister CJ. Let's share our power. Let's share our spirituality. Let's share our love with one another. With that being said, this has been TPIM SR Live. I'm your host, True Power's Mind. As always, live your life with integrity, without hate, without envy, and without greed. And as always, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace.